Justin Fields has spoken out about his relationship with owner Woody Johnson, and let me tell you, it explains a lot about how this NFL team is run and why we can't have any success in the recent history. But we're going to be here to break it all down. What's up, guys? I'm Matt Long. Welcome to Jets Football 365. If you're a New York Jets fan, hit that subscribe button. But let's get right into the news for today. Coming from ESPN, Justin Fields, the quarterback, isn't particularly close with Johnson. Fields said they met for the first time before a recent game, adding that their relationship consists of quick chats before games. So I don't know what successful franchise runs itself where the quarterback isn't like the leader of your franchise and isn't talking to everybody, especially someone as important as the owner of the franchise. I'm not saying that Justin Fields and Woody Johnson should be best friends or even talking to each other on a daily basis, but there is no way that he should have only met Woody Johnson once. That doesn't make any sense. And where Justin Fields has been a part of this team since free agency started, why did Woody Johnson never meet with him or ever talk to him over the course of the offseason? Like, this is mind-boggling. This makes zero sense. We talk about how Woody Johnson, usually he needs to be keeping himself away from the New York Jets and making sure that everything runs smoothly by not messing stuff up. But this is another situation where it's just super, super weird, because now this feels like Woody Johnson knowing that he should be staying away from the team. So now he is too far away from the team. It really doesn't make any sense of why the Jets quarterback and their owner needs to be on the same page, and they have to have at least some sort of professional relationship and knowing about each other at all. It doesn't make any sense why this would happen. The only thing, this really shows that Aaron Glenn is clearly the number one believer of Justin Fields, and he's the reason why Justin Fields is on this roster, because Glenn, we know he wants to put together a roster consisting of a moving or mobile quarterback. Pick one and go with it. But Aaron Glenn talks about changing the math, which means adding a mobile quarterback on run plays or really any play makes it so the defense has to play your offense differently. Every single time there's a mesh point between a running back or any ball carrier with the quarterback, usually teams only account for the running back, but if it's a mobile quarterback, they now have to account for the quarterback as well. So let's say you're running the football to the right side, the backside defender, meaning that the defender coming off the left side, whether it's a defensive back or a defensive end, their job against the New York Jets has to be account for the quarterback, and they're not able to just crash down and go chase the running back down from behind. We watched it week 1 against the Pittsburgh Steelers on 4th down when we got that conversion where Justin Fields walked into the end zone. On 3rd down, you saw TJ Watt stayed outside and stayed home, but then on 4th down, he decided he was going to crash down on Breece Hall, and Justin Fields ran outside of them and ran it easily into the end zone. That's what happens when teams don't keep contained. So they're always going to keep someone out there to make sure the quarterback can't run. That's the advantage of having a mobile quarterback. The problem with having our mobile quarterback is that Justin Fields has not proven himself to be a capable enough passer of the football for this team. The last 2 games, 52.9% completion percentage against the Denver Broncos is absolutely not even close enough for Justin Fields. That's not even close to good enough. Only 45 yards passing for a full game. And then he one-upped himself in the next half by throwing for 1 extra yard versus the Panthers and exactly a quarterback rating of 1 point higher at a 59.7, up from 58.7. I know versus the Carolina Panthers, he only played one half of football, but what is worse, getting benched at halftime or never showing up in the second half at all? I'm not even sure. One thing that the stats do show is that Woody Johnson, if he doesn't have faith in Fields, that makes a ton of sense. Justin Fields has shown that he so far has not been a good enough quarterback for this team. His earlier games where he put up more passing yards, they mostly came in garbage time. And this Jets team has really, really struggled to score touchdowns at all if it's not garbage time. Although one of their only non-garbage time touchdowns came in the 3rd quarter against the Miami Dolphins, where Justin Fields broke a ton of tackles, had a crazy long rushing touchdown on Monday Night Football to put us back in that game. Unfortunately, 3 turnovers were too much for us. We couldn't overcome it, but the point is the Jets are still losing games against bad teams like the Miami Dolphins. The Dolphins, in my estimation, are the 30th best team in football, which is terrible to be losing to that football team. But speaking of winning and losing games, coming up, the New York Jets have really 4 very winnable games, starting off with the Cincinnati Bengals, who added Joe Flacco, but they still don't have a defense. If Trey Hendrickson, most likely he's going to be back and healthy, the New York Jets have a shot in that game. But I'm more looking at the Cleveland Browns and hoping that after the bye week, the New York Jets are going to have some extra juice. Aaron Glenn is going to hopefully come together with his team and say, we are in danger of losing a ton of football games this season. We need to come up with a bunch of, I don't want to call them trick plays or gimmick plays, but they got to scheme something up that is smarter. We watch the Detroit Lions. I want to see more plays like, if you watch the Detroit Lions, they've called this play on 4th down already twice, where they have Amon-Ra lined up in the backfield pretty much as an H-back or a fullback. He is lined up in 1 step in front of the running back and 2 steps to the running back's right. And what happens is he gets a handoff from Jared Goff, and then he pitches the ball farther out to the running back, who instead of running up the field has ran behind the fullback and out to the outside. That's a type of play, something creative that Aaron Glenn needs to come together with his staff and scheme up plays like that. I mean, it can't be asking too much. The offensive coaching staff for the Detroit Lions cannot be that much smarter than the New York Jets coaching staff. They just can't be. Like the Kansas City Chiefs, we watch them come up with genius stuff all the time, and then you watch other teams copy what they're doing. You watch Patrick Mahomes. What they're doing now is they're doing this counter play where Mahomes spins around. He does a full 360 before handing off the football. And what it does is it gives an opportunity to hand the ball off to either a ghost motion coming around the backside or hand it off to the running back right in front of him. And he can hand it off to the running back running to the left or running to the right. And it stresses the defense in a ton of ways that the New York Jets are just not thinking up this type of stuff. They got to be smarter with their offensive play calling. I am not willing to accept the fact that other coaching staffs are just that much smarter than the New York Jets. I'm not accepting that. I'm not accepting that because these guys, they're professional play callers. They got to be more creative than what the New York Jets have put on tape so far. But we're going to have some opportunities. The Cleveland Browns, we're going to have opportunities against the Browns. Their offense is bottom of the league, not number 32, but it's somewhere in that vicinity. Defense, one of the best in the league, but the Browns overall only 2-5 so far on the season. So that's another winnable game for the Jets. The Patriots have been, the vibes are really, really high, but they're good, but they're not as good as their record may suggest. And the Baltimore Ravens coming in currently at 1-5. They've coming off their bye week this week, so they do not have 7 games like we do, but that team is extremely banged up, and a lot of their players who were injured are not coming back for the rest of the season, which is going to give the Jets an opportunity to do more damage to that team against their defense, which is more banged up. Lamar Jackson dealing with a soft tissue injury, a hamstring injury. Hamstrings are known to linger. That is an injury that maybe is still a factor when the Jets play them on November 3rd. The Ravens, even for all their immense talent and how much they were built up to be a fantastic team before the season started, right now, the Baltimore Ravens are 1-5, and they're an extremely gettable football team for the New York Jets. That's another game that the Jets can win. Really, I know we're 0-7, but this team has played very, very close games. I think it is highly realistic that the Jets can go 2-2 in this stretch. And I'm not saying try to go make the playoffs or do anything. I'm just saying, can we not be defeated? Like, can we win any games at all? I know this team is going to be a top 3 draft pick, and I'm not even going to sit here and say we have to win games because we can't earn the first overall draft pick. We earn the first pick in the draft, then we earn the first pick in the draft. But going 0-17 is embarrassing, and it's really, I know we have the Dolphins again, but it's a little bit worrisome. I just want to be off the bottom of the power rankings. Want to have a shred of respect in football conversations. But right now, the New York Jets, unfortunately, have not been deserving of any. But if you stuck around this long and watched the video, appreciate that greatly. Hit that like button if you haven't already. Hit the subscribe button if you're new to the channel, and go Jets.